The night Arav discovered his grandfather's locked workshop, he felt a pull, a strange curiosity he couldn't ignore. Something inside was calling to him, a soft, humming sound that seemed to whisper his name, what he would find in that room. It was going to change his entire life. Arav feared failure more than anything. Every mistake, no matter how small, felt like a towering mountain he could never climb. Walking home from school, the failed exam paper in his hand felt as heavy as a stone. The setting sun cast long shadows, mirroring the gloom in his heart. Why does this always happen to me? He wondered, his voice barely a whisper. Every attempt felt like a dead end, another reminder of what he couldn't do. But that evening was different. As dusk settled, he heard a strange, rhythmic clinking sound coming from the old workshop at the back of the house. A room that was always kept locked? Dadu?
Is anyone inside?
He called out, his voice trembling slightly. The only answer was another faint clink, like glass gently tapping against glass. Hesitantly, he walked down the dark hallway, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and intrigue. The door was slightly ajar, a sliver of eerie light spilling out. When Arav pushed the door open, he froze. The sight before him stole his breath. The room was filled with hundreds, maybe thousands, of glowing glass jars, neatly arranged on shelves that reached the ceiling. Each one emitted a soft, warm light, illuminating tiny handwritten notes inside. "What are these?" he whispered, stepping into the magical, mysterious space. It felt like walking into a galaxy of captured stars. "These are pieces of my life, Arav," a gentle voice spoke from the shadows. His grandfather stepped into the light, his eyes kind and knowing. Arav looked from the glowing jars to his grandfather's face, confused. But why failures? He asked, pointing to a label that read, "Failed Business Venture, 1985. His grandfather smiled softly, because failures teach us what success never can. He picked up a jar, its glow illuminating the wrinkles on his hand. "Every time I failed at anything, I wrote it down. Not to remember the pain of the failure, but to remember the lesson it taught me." He opened the jar and showed Arav two small, rolled-up pieces of paper inside. Inside each jar were two notes, one detailing the failure, the other describing the lesson learned. "Failure is not the opposite of success, my boy. Failure is the teacher of success. It's the compass that points you in the right direction." That night, something shifted inside Arav. He went to his desk not with a sense of dread, but with a newfound purpose. He took an empty jar and began to write. "Debate competition lost. Lesson: speak more slowly and listen carefully. Drawing contest didn't place. Lesson: practice shading and perspective every day." As he filled the jar with his own failures and lessons, a feeling of relief washed over him. "I won't fear failure anymore," he said to himself, a new determination in his voice. From that day on, Arav changed. Not because he suddenly stopped failing, but because he stopped fearing it. He saw every stumble not as a setback, but as a setup for a comeback. He joined the debate team again, his voice now steady and confident. He spent hours sketching, his drawings becoming more vivid and lifelike. His friends noticed the change. "Arav, you've improved so much," one exclaimed after a school play. He wasn't just getting better at things. He was becoming happier, lighter, and more resilient. A few months later, his grandfather came into his room. He looked at the jar on Arav's desk, now glowing with dozens of notes. "Oh, your jar is getting full," he observed. Arav looked at it, then back at his grandfather with a wide smile. "But Dadu, it's not even half full." His grandfather's eyes twinkled. "My child, this jar will never be full, because learning never ends. Don't hide your failures. Learn from them, embrace them. Every single one is a step, a lesson, a glowing light on the path toward a better you."